Welcome back. Well, the push to open state borders by Christmas is still causing tension, and plenty of it, with Queensland's Deputy Premier pushing back against Scott Morrison's promise to reunite Aussie families for the holidays. That was yesterday. Today he's kind of walked that back again and flip-flopped once more.
No one's ever suggested that the border should be closed at Christmas, but what we've said is it should be open at the right time and that we don't yet have the information that tells us what that right time is. Let's focus on what we can do today and tomorrow and next week, and that's the best way to make sure that we are open by Christmas.
Yeah, he was, of course, the one who did suggest that they'd be
for
closed for Christmas. Yeah, for the record. Now, one legal expert is saying that keeping borders shut could be actually illegal. Let's get today's take on this with Nine Honey's Shelley Horton and Nine reporter Seb Costello. Lovely to see you both. According to this expert, anyone who's adversely impacted by border closures could take legal action against their state. Seb, people are getting pretty desperate, but can you imagine anyone actually doing this?
I actually can, Dickie. I think a lot of people have quietly suspected the more extreme rules we've seen might not hold up under scrutiny in courts. And we've already seen some people go forward. Last year in Victoria, cafe owner and Liberal Party member Michelle Loiello questioned the curfew that Melbourne was living under. And we found the government actually dropped the curfew before that case went to trial. So you are seeing challenges going on. The other area is religious services. It's hard to remember a time in Australia's history where believers have been told they can't go to church, can't go to mosque, can't go to synagogue. The Constitution, Section 116, is pretty clear on the right to freedom of worship in Australia. So that's another area where you might see challenges. I think people have been happy to go along with this for a while, but now that it's been almost 2 years, now that we've got a vaccine, I think you'll see more of these challenges if governments don't hurry up.
Yep.
Well, especially if the health advice suggests that it is safe for those borders to be open and for people to start living freely again. Shell, what do you make of the stance coming from the Queensland government at the moment? And keep in mind, I don't think anyone is suggesting that Queensland, throws the gates open tomorrow, but to not be able to commit to opening at 80% double vaccination, or even beyond that at the moment, it's starting to feel a bit callously cruel.
It absolutely is. And I think that what we need to remember is that it's ruled by fear. Queenslanders are afraid of getting COVID, and so that's why Palaszczuk is getting away with it. What we need to do is rule with facts and rule by the law. So I think if we get some of the big companies to band together and actually sue, because it says under the Constitution, a disproportionate burden on trade is illegal. So I think that there are many big Queensland companies that could come together and really make sure that Palaszczuk is making decisions based on health facts and on legal facts, not on politics and not on emotion.
All right, boy, I'm sure there'll be a few legal eagles, some lawyers who'd love to mount a class action on that. Hey, also making news this morning, jabbed or not jabbed, anyone can now dive back in the pool from today. In an early easing of restrictions, outdoor public pools across Sydney have been reopened. A lot of people are happy about this. It comes as the Premier is expected to announce a plan for allowing unvaccinated residents to re-enter society with the same freedoms as those who are vaccinated. Seb, would you be concerned about sharing the same pool as someone who hasn't had the vaccine?
Not at all, Dickie. Last year, the Johns Hopkins Centre for Medical Security in the United States found that coronavirus doesn't survive in chlorinated water. That study was backed up by the Imperial College in London in April of this year, that coronavirus doesn't survive in chlorinated water. So for anybody who is a bit nervous about that idea, hopefully those two studies, people who know what they're talking about, have found that this is an okay move, and clearly our experts agree.
So, Shelley, the New South Wales Premier is today expected to announce New South Wales' roadmap for 80% vaccination, and at the same time announce when unvaccinated New South Wales residents will have equal freedoms to those who are vaccinated. Do you think it's too soon to be announcing freedoms for the unvaccinated?
Absolutely. I mean, if they are choosing as their lifestyle choice to not get vaccinated, they need to understand that there are going to be some choices that are taken away from them. And some of that might be things that they like to do. I kind of stick with me on this analogy. I think it works. Vegans choose to not eat animal products. They know when they dine out that they will have less choices. people that choose not to get vaccinated need to understand their lifestyle choice means that they will have less choices. And for me, it's going to be going to the cinema or swimming in pools or whatever it is. I think that what we need to do is make sure that we're not letting them just be hesitant and unsure. We actually need them to get vaccinated to protect the entire community.
I think a lot of people are uncomfortable, though, with this idea of a two-tier society where some people can't participate at all. But I suppose it's a matter of when these freedoms for the unvaccinated are announced, when we're still working towards a certain threshold. Yeah.
It's not a two-tier system when it's people who choose. It's two-tier when people can't afford to get vaccinated or people are, considered lower because they aren't available to get a vaccine. This is actually not, haves and have nots. This is those who are supporting the community and those who are not.
Well, it's a very delicate line that the Premier will be walking, I think, when she makes these announcements today, and you'll catch them here on 9 News when that happens at 11 o'clock this morning. Shelley and Seb, stay with us when we come back. Why royal fans have lashed out at Harry and Meghan over their New York tour.
Welcome back. Well, Harry and Meghan have come under fire following their latest trip to New York City, from treating the visit like a royal tour to flying a private jet home to California. Critics are saying the trip was, quote, an embarrassment.
Wherever they go, criticism follows, doesn't it? Shelley Horton and Seb Costello are with us to discuss. These two are just lightning rods, Shelley, aren't they? Meghan has been dubbed the designer Duchess. She's been mocked for wearing a wardrobe that cost an eye-watering $125,000. What do you make of all this?
Oh, leave Meghan alone. I can't believe this. I mean, I've got a group of friends called the Social Club. There's 8 of us, and I'm the only one who stands up for Meghan. I think she's great. I think that they're doing some great things. They're actually promoting the COVID vaccine. So can we stop just piling on? It just seems hate forsakes hate. Just give them a go.
Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't to some degree, but it just seems so calculated. The climate-conscious couple have also been called hypocritical for flying in a private jet. They've got to get there somehow. Seb, are we being tough on them?
Absolutely. They're just a couple of newlyweds just trying to have a go,
Having a go.
Wearing $120,000 worth of clothes over 3 days. I read some of the schedule. They went to a school where the kids rely on public welfare to eat the food there at the school, and Meghan was wearing a $10,000 Cartier bracelet. Nothing says I'm in touch like a $10,000 Cartier bracelet, doesn't it? No, I'm with you, Shell. Leave them alone.
Do I detect just a hint of sarcasm, Seb?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I was at their wedding, Sylvia, as a journalist, of course. But,
yeah. You've got the invitation framed on your desk at work, don't you, Seb?
Absolutely do. Exactly, no. But, I mean, I keep going back to their wedding because there's a bit of a sort of rewriting of history that these guys have, had the media going for them since day one. It's just not true.
No, that's not true.
I've never seen the media give a couple a better run. The whole world was behind them at the time they got married. It's just some of the decisions since then that have seen people jump off.
Yeah, we were all riding the Harry and Meghan wave at that point, weren't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oprah was a defining moment, wasn't it?
Yes, wasn't it? Yes. Guys, take care. Thank you very much.
Good
Shelley,
chat.
I hope you get back to Queensland at some point. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Me too. Thanks.
Meantime, enjoy Sydney.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Next on Today Extra, it is...